Is this thing on? I think we're live. What is up, full-time family? This is the first of what I hope to be many to come. I don't see any reasons I shouldn't be able to do this. I think I'm going to start doing like a morning show, like every weekday morning, Monday through Friday. I think 10 to 12 is going to be the best time, or 11 a.m. Eastern to 1 a.m. Eastern. So this is just the first one. But since this is the first one, it's clearly not going to be as organized and stuff like that. But what I've got planned is I'm going to first say shout out to everybody that donated last night. That shit really came in handy because rent is due to mother trucking tomorrow. Now my shit's not going to be late. Y'all came through, man. I'm much appreciated. And I'm going to, of course, pay you guys back with continuous quality and quantity content from your boy Big Full Time. So thank you guys very much for that. I got like $200 total, man, and I was like $150 short. So I'm gonna be even able to pay my late fee back. So fucking thank you very much, Full Time family. With that being said, what we're gonna do here first, I'm just gonna to let some people get in here. We're just gonna play some of our old freestyles. We got who's fighting this weekend. Kobe Covington's fighting this weekend, so I thought it'd be a good time to run this song. You know, the Mike Perry versus Kobe Covington battle rap, and that's also going to give other people time, members of the full-time family, to roll into the chat if they want to come through and say what's up. So I see my boy, I believe Sam Beck in the chat said, let's do an OG hitter call. I'm down to do that, bro. Just send me an email. We can do that later today, sometime this week. It don't matter. I'm down. Oh, you can't hear the video? Oh, well, fuck this video then. I'll cut that out on the replay. Well, that's some fucking bullshit. If it's screen sharing, why can't you hear the video? That's some bullshit. Well, man, fuck this video. That's crazy. That means the whole beginning of this joint was messed up. All right, well, with that being said, let's get into the news. And by the way, if any of you guys want to join this is a Google Hangout. You guys can definitely hop in that joint. Damn, I was going to run the Bellator. I'm repping Bellator. Hey, look, they ain't no way you found a fight. You said some shit that I ain't like about Bellator, so now it's time to back it up. Hey, I'm telling you, man, that's how I want to bring the intro into these, because it gives people time to come in here, because you might not get the notification or whatnot. But, hey, it is what it is. There's been enough time and enough fucking dead silence, I guess. But let's fucking check this out. So what do you guys want to start off with? UFC 225? Let's start off that way. You know, we got MVP moving back to boxing. We got Andrea KKK Lee, you know, and her husband's tattoos. You know, they've came back out and, you know, released it looks like somebody's definitely getting to them. They got some pressure because these apologies seem a lot more sincere. We'll get into that as well. But first, I guess we'll go over UFC 225. All Pro Limited said, how do I do the hangout? Let me send links. This is how I think you do it. I got to find this link. And once I do that, I put it in the chat. And then anybody that wants to join should be able to join. So where's the link at? Boom. All right. Invite people. Here's the link. Copy. Run that join to the chat. All right. Here's the link in the chat. Boom. All right. I just put it too many times. Boom. Boom. I just watched the 5-round drubbing that Chris put on Holly. She won't beat Megan, says Kyle Stevens. Hey, bro, Megan Anderson's coming in a pretty big underdog. You can win some money if you pick Megan. I picked Megan too, man. If I lived in Vegas, I might be coming up this weekend. But I don't live in Vegas yet. I plan on being there eventually, though. That should be dope. Conor Lodge said, anyone putting money down on 225? Yeah, man. Shit, I would if I could. There's money to be made, man. CM Punk. Hashtag WarPunk. Let's fucking go. All right, we got to jump into UFC 225. Let's go to UFC.com, man. This shit is real. It's time. Oh, somebody's in this joint. What up? What up? Somebody's in the live. I'm hearing shit in my ear. Close. Oh yeah, shit. Hit the mute on the background just so it don't pick up a little bit of an echo. I don't even know who's in here, man, but say what's up.
What's happening, my G?
Mo, what up? What up? Not too much.
Following your channel since time, bro. Some good content there.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it, man. Let's check out this UFC 225 card, man. Who you got? Who you got out of? This is how I know, man. Who you got out of Mike Jackson? Man. You got Whitaker.
The last time he gassed out.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too, man. I think Robert Whitaker's probably the safest pick to me out of all these fights, man. It's kind of weird, man. Maybe Tuivasa too. What y'all think about Tuivasa versus Arlovsky? Arlovsky's coming back. Y'all think he's getting slept though?
Tough fight. Yeah, true,
but
man.
He's coming back,
man. Tuivasa's a savage, man.
He is.
Probably
He
hitting
is.
some beer before the fight, or like.
Bro, if he wins, you know he's about to hit one of those nasty ass shoeies. If you guys don't know, Tai Tuivasa, bro, that's his move. After he fights, he gets a shoe and they like put beer in the shoe and he drinks it. And now the last one we saw at the UFC looked like a clean shoe. But he said Tyson Pedro is one of his good friends. They also do a podcast together. He said he's did that shit with beer. People will spit in the shoe. It'll be a dirty shoe and he'll still drink that shit. Ugh. That's a nasty motherfucker right there, man. Tai Tuivasa, but man, if he wins, they Reebok made a shirt and it's him like drinking out of a shoe, like that's his shit.
Man, that's cool, man.
If he wins, though, I might have to low key try and find out how to get one of those shirts.
Yeah, man.
Who do you got out of Holly Holm and Megan Anderson, man? I think Megan Anderson's gonna surprise a lot of people.
Man, I still like Holly Holmes, man. Holly Holmes,
she needs the
she's
W.
She's always been that fire, man. She's tough, like.
And maybe she needs to win bad. Let's check out Holly Holmes.
I know, man.
Recent records.
A few losses, like.
Chris Cyborg, that's Chris Cyborg though. Then you got Betchko Hayden. That's really her. Well, Holly Holm and Jermaine Durant. I mean, that was a close fight. A lot of people felt like Holly Holm kind of won that. There was definitely some controversy, but
she kept on punching after the bell and shit, man.
Yeah, that's
Durant to me, like.
And I don't think she's been back since. Has she? Has Jermaine been back since?
No, man.
Tell me she's been. Damn.
That hasn't been playing, man.
It feels like that was a lot longer than just a year and a half ago. But yeah, man, that was still a while back. She still hasn't been back, man. That's surprising. I think she was scheduled to face someone and she got pulled out due to injury or something. But yeah, man, Holly Holm versus Megan Anderson. Honestly, Megan Anderson, man, I'm very interested to see how she does coming over to the UFC. It's going to be her first fight actually in the UFC against a talented striker, counter striker. So I'm interested to see her style. But one thing about Megan Anderson is she's been all 4 of her last fights, she's on a 4-fight winning streak. She's knocked out or TKO'd all of her opponents. So she's going to be coming in here powerful too, man, with big featherweight.
Oh, she's serious, yeah?
What?
She's a serious fire, like. I haven't seen any of her fights.
You said steroids. I was like, no.
No, man, that's not double and accent coming through.
No, I haven't. Honestly, I'm going to be honest with you, man. I haven't even watched her fights over in Invicta, but I've heard a lot about her. And also, Holly Holm, she's, not been doing great, honestly. And it's going to be a legit featherweight. Holly Holm, she's talented. And, I mean, Chris Cyborg thinks, if Holly Holm wins, she's going to get a rematch at the title shot, which she very well could. But I don't know if that's going to mean. I don't know what's going to happen here. But for some reason, I've got a feeling Megan Anderson might be able to come in and surprise some people because I don't think she should be counted out against Holly Holm. Holly Holm was the giant killer when it came to Ronda Rousey, but since then, she hasn't really just been dominating her fights. So I think it's going to be closer than a lot of people might even think. I see someone else joining the call. Danger, your mic's muted. What's up, brother? Yeah, I don't know if you want to unmute it, but either way, I was just saying what's up. But Rafael Dos Anjos, Kobe Covington, let's go. Who do you got in that fight? This fight
might be a tough one, man. But I like Kobe, man. Everyone loves to hate him, man. But I want him to win. Like, I want to see him fight Tyquill.
Tyquill? I want to see him fight. Man. Oh, I forgot about Tyquill. Bro, if he wins, Kobe Covington wins the microphone, his post-fight speech might be the best part of the night. Like, it might be the best part of the night. We're going to hear Tyquills. We're going to hear call. Oh, my Lord.
They're calling out Whitaker as well, man. Man, he's a
huge
superstar, bro. People love to hate these guys.
Yep.
He's smart.
Yeah. Yeah, he is, man. And he's really, honestly, this is why I think he's being smart about it. Because he's not crossing the line too much. Like, he's not dropping fucking in-bombs or nothing crazy. Or, but he's still pissing everyone off. But he's not crossing that crazy line. So you can still kind of, like, love to hate him. It's like, you hate what he's saying, but at the same time, the shit's entertaining and can be very funny as well. And that's why I'm anticipating that post-fight speech. If he wins, oh my! I really, like if I was going into the fight unbiased, I would want Kobe to win just to see the post-fight speech.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
What's up, R Pit in the building? I see you got a little air on your microphone or something. You driving, riding a bike or some shit, bro.
Yeah, bro, how can we support you, man? How can we send you like some dollars or some shit? Euros.
PayPal, or I mean, somebody just showed me what.
That shit, man.
I got the link in the description. You say you don't have, yeah. All you have to have, I think, is like a debit card. If it's, I don't know how you can help with cash, but other than that, yeah, if you got a debit card or something like that, PayPal's the best way. Or,
sure,
I mean, I'm still figuring this shit out myself. I mean, when we're live streaming right now, I think you can do super chat as well. But also, like somebody just showed me not too long ago, like how to accept Bitcoin and shit. So I'm about to, put that shit in. But yeah, man, I'm trying to figure it out too. Yeah, cash. I don't know about cash. I don't know how the fuck send it to me in the motherfucking mail. I guess I don't know.
Oh man, just want to support you. You're doing good work, man.
I appreciate it, man. For sure, I appreciate it.
What's your name anyway, bro? I didn't catch your name, man.
Jordan.
Taco Bell.
Jordan.
Taco Bell One.
Jordan. Full time. Fat time, bro. It's whatever it is.
My name's Muhammad anyway, yeah?
Broke time. What up, Muhammad? Okay, what up?
Big fan of yours, yeah?
Hell yeah, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Gonna try and become one of them full-time patrons.
Hell yeah, that'd be dope, man. If you need help figuring that out, I made a video not too long ago, to help, because I know a lot of people don't really know how that shit works either. But yeah, other than that, man, let's jump into Andrea Lee's what you guys want to do? What do you think about? You want to jump into the Andrea Lee? Because I really want someone else or some other people to hop in on the Andrea Lee topic, because I think we could have a pretty interesting debate or just conversation on that whole topic. But first, MVP moving back to boxing. Let's just talk about this first, man. I was gonna do a video on this, but this is, I don't know about this. This is kind of it's disappointing for me. It's like, I don't know if you guys know about Michael Venom Page. I know a lot of you do. But Michael Venom Page is one of the biggest stars over at Bellator. He's like their fucking Anderson Silva, like the Fruity O's version of Anderson Silva. He dances. He's got the reflexes. His striking is phenomenal. But the thing is, he hasn't really been tested against a very high-level wrestler yet. And that's really kind of what the hardcore fans and people are looking at. Like, okay, he's beaten up a lot of people are saying he's the ultimate can crusher, but David Rickles, I would not say is a can. And also he's fought one other guy or two other guys that actually have somewhat of a reputation in the sport. So they're not all the way cans. Are they UFC caliber? No. But his striking is very entertaining and fun to watch. So in the meantime, like when he can't get a fight, I guess the preferable fight, he's been going back and forth to boxing. Now, I didn't watch his first boxing fight. I heard he absolutely crushed a guy, though. But it was a guy that was like 2-11. Like, if I'm not mistaken, they said his opponent's record was like 2-11. I was like, what? Somebody just joined. You got me playing in the background. If you'd mute that, that'd be dope because it's echoing. Or you could just drop out. Hang Chang, what up, brother? I see you, though. But yeah, so MVP moved back to boxing. I'm curious to see what his opponent's going to be like. Is he working his way up to like a fucking Paulie Malinoodles or something? Like, is he starting with 2-11? Now is it going to be someone that's like 11-11? And then fuck it, give me Paulie. I don't know what the angle is going to boxing, but it is what it is. I really want to see him fight Paul Daly. What do you think about MVP? Did you watch his first boxing fight?
Yeah. He sucker punched the guy, like not sucker punch, but he messed around with him. Like he wasn't taking it that seriously, man. The guy wasn't that great. Like, you know what I mean?
Was he dancing and doing all the fun stuff?
Shifting legs, man. Doing loads of shit, man. Wasn't taking it that serious, like.
That's the thing, yeah. He like. And that's another thing like that. And I might have been a little biased in the David Rickles fight, even though it still pissed me off because he's from Kansas, But it's like when you're showboating to get somebody you're way better than, that's kind of like, it's different if you're Cody Garbrandt showboating against Dominic Cruz, because it's like, that's one of the best fighters in the world. But if you're fighting somebody you're supposed to beat and you're showboating, that's kind of like, okay, you're kind of an asshole for that.
Yeah. But how many fights does he have left on his contract in Bellator?
Oh, snaps. I don't know, man.
I think UFC want to sign him. Like,
I was thinking Michael Chandler is somebody I was thinking might be going to the UFC soon.
True.
I don't know about
Beast.
MVP's contract. I know he's one of Bellator's favorites, and if MVP went to the UFC, I mean, MVP could lose in Bellator. I don't know if the UFC, unless the UFC just wanted to expose him, like the UFC could, I don't know how well he would do in the UFC. But yeah, Michael Chandler, on the other hand, he's somebody I listened to his interview or podcast with Joe Rogan. He was talking about, potentially, I think he has like one fight left on his contract. Joe Rogan was talking about trying to get him in the UFC. And if he did come to the UFC, we could see Eddie Alvarez versus Chandler 3 in the UFC.
Man, that'd be so crazy.
That would be so good. And that's something that could happen. But Bellator, I would think they might want to re-sign Michael Chandler, but if he's got dreams of going to the UFC, which I'm pretty sure he does, that would be super dope. And that could be like, I don't know, we'll see. That could be, I don't know, first or second fight back. We see Chandler versus Eddie Alvarez. That'd be insane. But yeah, I think that'd be dope. Other than that, man, fuck it. Let's jump into this Andrea Lee topic. I just want to get into, because I haven't covered it. Let's fucking go, man. She sent, I covered it the other day. Like, here's, he's got racist tattoos and stuff. So there's been a backlash recently because they were at the beach and he had on a short sleeve shirt. He fucked up. He didn't have on the dreaded long sleeve. And so now people see his Nazi swastika on one arm, the fucking Black Lightning bolt on one arm. And then he even self-snitched a little bit, told on himself and said, I've got a lot of racist tattoos that are racist in nature, but I can't get them removed because I'll look like even more of a redneck, which that wasn't, to me, that's where he kind of messed up, because whenever you hear, I got him 20 years ago when I was in prison, I was originally thinking, okay, I get that. You went to prison. You might have did it for protection. You got tattooed up because you were in prison. I know about that. I've heard about that. I get that.
Yeah, true.
But then when you say, like, the only reason you haven't got them covered up is because you don't want to look like more of a redneck, then I'm like, that's kind of like, I don't know. It just kind of worsens it for me because it's like, so you kind of want them covered up, and that's what everyone is wanting. Everyone's pretty much asking for him to get all of these tattoos covered up. But my thing is, like, and this is kind of a joke I have to preface, it's like, if he's got a bunch of racist tattoos on his arm and it's a sleeve, like, what can he do? Like, just black that whole shit out? Like, and then people are going to start saying he's like appropriating black culture, wanting to have a black arm and shit. I don't know. I'm just, like blackface. All right, that's a joke. But I'm just saying, so it seems like somebody has really gotten through to Andrea Lee and him, Donnie Aaron, I believe is his name. And it even sounds like Aryan, which is crazy. But, and they came out and they've got a super deeper, much more sincere apology. Shoot, man, if I read this whole thing, I could read the whole thing. I guess I will. I'll read the first half or something. It's really long, man, but it seems like, she's starting to be, and this is a part I really want to talk about. She's starting to be punished for his tattoos. And I guess that's realistic, but it's kind of like, should people be punished or fired from their jobs for their husband or their spouse's tattoos? I mean, maybe they should be, but then where do you draw the line?
Guilty by association, man.
Yeah, that's a good point. Guilty by association. And that's what I was going to say. If you're married to somebody, it's different. Like, because I was going to say, like, what if you're just dating somebody, right? Like, what if you're dating someone? Is that a different thing? Because if you're married, it's kind of like you probably co-sign what they co-sign. So I see that, guilty by association. But what if you're just like, you've been dating someone for years and they've got those tattoos? I mean, maybe you just got to break up with them or some shit. But I don't know. It just seems like Andrea Lee, she seemed like a very talented fighter. She just got her first win in the UFC, and she could potentially be losing her career and her livelihood over her husband's
shitstorm.
Yeah, it's a big shitstorm, man. It's actually a lot bigger. I know it's a lot bigger than they could have expected. And so it's interesting now because it's like their hands being forced, because even in this long apology, it's like, yo, I ashamedly wear them, but they're still kind of saying they're not going to get them covered up. So it's like, is the apology ever going to be enough, or are they going to, is she, eventually have to get this shit covered up? It's going to be interesting to see, like, because people aren't taking this apology, and I'll start to read it because it's so in depth, but people are still like, yeah, but you're still not getting them covered up. So here it is. Please read this and accept my most sincere apologies to all I have offended with the photos of my tattoos became public when I'd most like to apologize to Andrea and my brother Kendrick, both pictured, for putting them in a position to feel the need to defend me when there is no defense or justification for the abhorrent tattoos that I ashamedly wear. I'd also like to apologize to her employers at the UFC for bringing them shame and embarrassment. Not least of these, I apologize to MMA fans worldwide for giving the sport a temporary black eye for offending so many of those who've supported us for years. And to all of the elite pro fighters I've been blessed to work with, I pray this doesn't change your opinion of me, even though most of this group knows my story. So it's like, man, like, you know, that apology is like deep. Like, I don't know. It seems like they really felt the pressure from the fans and from everybody. But he says, furthermore, I'd like to apologize to Andrea's sponsors, who were certainly blindsided by this, as were many. Know that I can offer reasons, not excuses or justifications for the choices I made in my 20s. My body is covered in tattoos that tell the story of where I've been, what I've gone through, and what I've overcame. These scars tell my history, which include a dark time when I was in prison. However, they do not accurately represent who I am today as a person, my personal belief system, and the respect I have for people of all races, religion. For 13 years, I have tried to atone for my sins and seek the forgiveness for those most certainly find my body reprehensible. I've, in most cases, gone to great lengths to always wear long sleeves in public setting. The photo posted was complacent, error in judgment as my excitement and not thoughtfulness ruled that day. All right, yeah, I've read enough, but essentially, man, he really sounds like he's ashamed by the tattoos. And this is my thing. If you're really that ashamed of them, like, you might have to cover him up. What do you think, man? What do you think
What do you think about him covering him up? Maybe he doesn't have that
there's people that offer to do it for free. No, honestly, there's a lot of places that offer to cover up racial tattoos for free. If it like, I've seen links, multiple links. Yeah, no, there's actually, I'll pull it up. There's multiple links. I pulled one up. I seen CSH Combat Sports on this topic. He pulled one up, like, and it's specifically for like Nazi removal tattoo type shit. Free prison tattoo removal. Oh yeah, there's many places you can go, and I think there's some people that do great jobs. And I think this, I'll go to YouTube because fuck all that. That's a lot better place. But I was going to say, this story is so big, I bet you the best person that does this, it would be willing to help him out at this point. Like, hey, bro, if you're really ashamed, you really feel what you said in your apology, I'll hook you up. I got you, bro. Because he'll get some publicity from it. So, I mean, but do you think if there, let's just say you can get free tattoo removal, and you're seeing my fucking ratchet-ass music I'll be listening to sometime, free prison tattoo removal. But do you think if you can get him removed for free, he should get him covered up? Or do you think he should be able to just say, hey, I was in prison 20 years ago?
It's his choice at the end of the day. If he feels that deeply about it, like maybe for his girlfriend or his wife or whatever she is to him, if it's going to affect her career or the money coming into their family, like maybe it's worth it. But as far as I'm concerned, like what's in your past is in your past. If you hold it in your heart and you use it as your day-to-day, then it'll show up anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but, that's a great point. I agree, man.
Was he there saying that's how I am about some black people or Chinese people? Was he being racist? Like, I bet you no one brought up footage of that. Like, and I'm sure there's a lot of racism going on in America anyway. Like we see on YouTube all the time. Like it's a worldwide thing, like racism. So I don't know why people just put a magnifying glass on one little thing like these racist tattoos or whatever.
Yeah, like, and that's a good point. It'd be one thing if there was a video of him like that just came out like, oh my God, Andrea Lee's husband just dropped the N-bomb and he's got these racist tattoos, but a picture just came out, you know? So, I mean, from what we've heard from him, and I'm assuming his wife, she doesn't seem like a terrible person either. If she was, I don't think she would be where she is. She's got a lot of fans right now, and I don't think you get fans by being a fucking evil racist person. So, you know, I don't think Andrea Lee also shares those beliefs either. I think it came in his past, but to what you said though, I think if it's going to affect your livelihood and especially your wife's career, it might be a sacrifice you have to make, you know, for your family and stuff like that. Like, man, you know, because some people have brought up the point, like maybe he keeps them to remind himself what to not go back to. Like, yo, I used to be this person. It does tell a story. but that's not who I am today, you know. But
Yeah.
at the same time, like, I agree, if it's going to affect your family, your livelihood, if you have kids, you know, then you might have to do it. Now, see, you can do what you want. He doesn't have to get them removed, but this is the thing.
Exactly.
There
Yeah.
can be repercussions. That's the thing. You don't get them removed, your wife, likely you could ruin her career. So it's up to him. He can apologize and not get them removed and you know, cite all of these reasons, but at the same time, there could be repercussions. She's probably going to lose sponsors. She could lose her job.
Do you think he'll end
So
up
is it worth it?
getting them removed and shit? People won't
Huh?
accept it anyway. They always think he's a racist. Like, once a racist, always a racist. Like,
Yep, that's a good point too. But the thing is, see, and that's the thing. That's another good point. Would you rather, if you think somebody's a racist and they get, like, let's say they are a racist and they had a racist tattoo, but you wanted it removed. Well, now that it's removed, you don't even know if that motherfucker's racist no more, right? Now they're covered. Now they're incognito. Like, now you wouldn't know them from a non-racist person. That puts it on the surface. It's like, okay, I know to stay away from that guy. You know, he's got a damn swastika on his arm. I'm not trying to figure out his story. I'm going to stay away from him. But any other time, it could be an actual racist with no tattoo, and you're like, I'm having conversation with this guy because I don't know. So I mean, maybe, you know, maybe there's something to be said for, like, you want to know somebody's character, and but at the same time, this is my thing. From what he's saying, he seems like he's ashamed of them and all of this. If you're really ashamed of them, and it can affect you, you know, it's one thing. It's affecting your family, and you're ashamed of it. So why not just go through? And I think he's going to have to give them covered up, especially when you see places like this. I cover up racist tattoos for free just a year ago.
Do you think he will?
Do I think
in your own
he
opinion?
will? Do I think he will, man? I hope he does, just because I'm a fan of Andrea Lee. And if he doesn't, then I think she's going to suffer for his actions. And I don't want to see that happen. So I kind of want him to get them covered up, and it's partly because he says he's ashamed of them. Like in that one we just read, the apology we just read was it seemed very sincere. Like, I apologize, boom, boom. Like, he seemed very sincere. So if you're sincerely don't feel that way, if you're sincerely ashamed of your tattoos, which he's saying he's ashamed of them, I don't see the problem of getting them covered up. The only reason you can give for not getting them covered up is you don't want to look more like a redneck. Like, I'm sorry, if I had a fucking, I don't know, a evil symbol on my arm, I don't know, it just seems like you already look like a redneck with it. So why not turn it up a notch and get it covered up if you know if you're ashamed of it? You know what I'm saying? So I think he should, just given his reasoning, you know, because it's given his reasoning. If he would have came out and said, listen, I got him 20 years ago, I wear him as like a story. I want to remind myself of, you know, the bad, and it's a part of my past, but I'm ashamed of him, blah, blah, blah. Maybe not. Maybe, I don't know. But when you say, like, I don't want to look more like a redneck, that's when I'm like, what? I don't know about that. And then you said, like, you know, it does cost a lot of money. So then when you bring up these places that do it for free, maybe you just do it. And then also, if it's affecting your family, it's just like there's so many reasons to get it covered up for your only defense to say, like, I don't want to look like a redneck. So I think he should, but will he? That's another subject. That would be interesting. Do you think he will, given everything?
I think he should, but it's up to him at the end of the day. Like, it's going to be up to him. Like, and it won't even faze me one bit about her. I judge her on her own merits. You know what I mean? If I'm a fan of her, I'm a fan of her. Like,
you don't believe. See, some people are saying, well, like, if you're married to someone, you kind of co-sign their beliefs, but do you just say, man, it's they're separate? Whatever he does, I'm not going to look at her any different way.
Every human's their own person. Like, you can't judge a son for the sins of his father, can you?
No, I mean, I don't think so. I don't think.
Are you going to count their kids racist because his father has a bloody tattoo?
See, I don't.
When he was 20. Like,
this came up in that Keaton. You remember that Keaton Jones situation not a long time ago, and it came out he was getting bullied at school, and everyone was like, "Man, this kid's getting bullied. Let's help him." And then it came out to find out his dad was like a racist in prison, and they're like, "Oh, fuck Keaton," and I'm like, "Yo,
I remember that guy."
Kid. You know, like, he's not racist. He's getting bullied at school, like, and if so, I mean, there was a lot of people though that were like, well, fuck that. If his parents are racist, he's gonna be racist too. So, and I was like, yo, I'm looking at him as a kid, man, that don't know no better. So I didn't look at the kid as a racist, but some people like did look at like, well, he's gonna grow up eventually. Like, I don't know, man. But that's what that
World's
reminded
fucked up, bro. World's fucked up.
There's another good point, man. With that being said, man, it's about time to get back to the MMA. That's a good fucking point. That's a great way to end that subject. All right,
man. Man, I'm trying to send you some €2. Hope it helps, man. Try and send you something else.
Man. I appreciate it, man, for sure. All right,
let me know if it goes through. Yeah,
had her baby. 67 hours of labor. Congratulations to Misha Tate and the Fam Bam. Little fucking Misha Tate's baby. That's dope. Now she is officially a MILF. 100%. Misha Tate, congratulations. I haven't really been covering her pregnancy. I've been seeing little updates and stuff, but that's dope. She had her baby, everybody. Did you see anything about that bare knuckle fighting that just happened over the weekend?
Beck Rollins' knuckles, man, they were fucked, man.
And she won.
She was knocking that chick out like she was hitting her so many uppercuts.
Bro, I watched the highlights, man. I'm about to pull them joints up. I was watching the highlights, bro. She was knocking that chick. I was like, yo, I'm not gonna lie, this is some of the most entertaining shit, but the winner's hands are broke.
Yeah, exactly.
What are we gonna do? Have one of these a year? We'll see you next year back. Like after your hands come back.
Crazy.
Like, and she won the fight, but maybe I don't like. Yeah, man. I don't know. I'm definitely interested. It seems a little. What's the word? Barbaric. I don't know if that's the word. It seems a little like holy shit. Like this is some. We're watching some shit right now. Yeah. Smaller ring. You just seeing like the blood.
More
like,
compact.
Boom, boom. Oh, that's her talking. I'm trying to see the actual highlights. Hold on. Yo, we're about to check this shit out. All right. I know they're on here too because this is where I saw them. Here's an update of her swollen hands. Let's check that out. Brock Lesnar's rumored next opponent. I would assume. There's her hands.
What?
After her dominant win. Boom. Is there an update? This is the update. And that's the winner.
Yeah. Tough chick, man. Tough chick.
Tough as nails. And she's been fighting MMA, bro. So I don't. And you know when you get the clinch and like it's not just boxing. There's a lot of boxing to it, but I think there's gonna definitely be an advantage. I don't even know who's gonna have the greatest advantage, but Beck Rawlings was definitely had her way in there as far as when she started to come back and she had her in the clinch and she was just landing that. Man, look at the damn fucking where are those highlights at? That's what we gotta find. Enough talking about. I'm trying to find these because that was crazy. When you brought that up, that's what came in my head. Like I was like, oh yeah, the highlights were crazy. I watched like, is that the only fight you watched on the bare knuckle fighting event, or did you watch?
Yeah, man. No, I didn't see the whole card, man.
I'm gonna see. All right. See if I can find them here now. Actually, I might be able to just find them on YouTube, man. I found on this like 2 days ago, like right after it happened, but now they got a lot of other clickbait news in the way. Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship 1. Uh-oh. Beck Rawlings.
Oh, man, there it is, bro.
Bare knuckle though.
Man, they're both going at it, man.
Yeah, that's what you gotta think about this, man. It's both anytime they're throwing, it's bare knuckle. Even when she's not connecting with her head, that's bare knuckle. Whatever she's connecting with them, they're hitting in there, man.
It's obviously a different set of rules though. No elbows, no knees or some shit, just boxing, yeah?
Yeah, you can clinch and you can punch in the clinch. Yeah. That's the difference. Like when you get clinched up, you can punch your way out of that shit. As long as you're punching in the clinch, you can keep going. So that's where some of the craziest moments come in. Like whenever I think it's in the second or third round, whenever Beck Rawlings clinches this girl, she starts to do
the uppercut, man. Like,
but I think actually she starts to get she gets the best of the first round, if I'm not mistaken. So what is it, 2 minutes? It might be 2-minute
2 minute
rounds.
rounds?
Just
Yeah,
started.
2 minute rounds.
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
Oh, so then it's 5 rounds. Okay, so I'll probably fast forward it a little bit. We'll watch the second half of the fight.
Best bits, man. That's always the best way.
Should we just pull up the highlights?
This is cool too, bro. Whatever you
Okay,
think,
I thought
man.
you said the best bits. I thought you were saying just pull up the highlights. I was about to say that'd be a good idea, but man, let's just watch the second half.
Do you know where the other chick's from?
No,
She
where's
was
she
fine.
from? I think Mexico, if I'm not mistaken.
Mexican, yeah, Mexico, yeah.
Yeah, but man, you can see like she's throwing punches, and you could imagine like even in the second half of the fight, your hands are already probably starting. You know, you got adrenaline, but you're probably already second guessing throwing your shots. Like, damn, man, I'm not trying to bust my. You got to really be precise with your shots because if you connect with the top of their head, you're gonna fuck around and break your knuckle.
Man, I busted up a few knuckles, busting a few heads before, man. It's not easy, man. Still throwing a few digs, like you fuck up your hand, man.
You rethink it. You're like, I'm not throwing that one.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, my shit's about to freeze up. See, that's why I haven't been live streaming with OBS and stuff. That's why I've been doing Google Hangouts so the shit don't lag. But yeah, man, I'm just gonna pull up the highlights because that's probably what happened. And also after this, I'm gonna pull up a little more news. And thanks to everybody who's been here. But yeah, I'm gonna start doing this like every morning. I don't know how long, hour, 2 hours, but yeah. So pull up these highlights.
Man, I'll tune in, bro.
Yeah, man. Thanks for jumping on the live too.
This is the first time I ever done it. Like, you're the only one I'd probably do it for. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, that's dope. Hell yeah, that's dope, bro. So maybe you can do it more often too.
The up and comers, like,
let's go.
The slick ones, anyway.
Yeah, there's some of them out there that they're not full time. I mean, no, there's definitely some people out there they're doing the thing.
I wanted to ask you, please. Sorry for interrupting you. Yeah.
No, you're good.
How did you come up with if you're not a baby back bagel biting bitch boy?
Man, it's a long story. Actually, it's not a super long story, but it came from the old channel. Like, I've got a playlist on YouTube, and you can check it out. It's called like Full-Time Flashbacks, but I put it all together in one video. But yeah, I did a fantasy fight between me and the old channel. Did you know anything about the old channel, MMA Fast Topics?
No, I just saw Full-Time MMA and Full-Time MMA 2.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, that's the history of the channel. I'm gonna probably like on the next Q&A, hopefully somebody asks. But long story short, there was an old channel I used to watch. They were an MMA channel. I used to listen to them at work and shit. And they told everybody they're going to another website that charges $20 a month. And if you can't afford $20 a month, then see you later. You better get a better job. Yeah, like get a better job if you can't pay me $20 a month. So me being broke as fuck, I probably couldn't have paid him $5 a month. I know there's a lot of people that could have, which would have been a lot smarter. But if it's not free, exactly. So I was like, well, I know there's people like me because I got on YouTube and I was like, I typed in his name, MMA Fast Topics. It was gone. I was like, what the fuck? He really shut his channel down? Like, even if you're going to go to the other website, why would you shut your channel down? Like, even your old content should still be up to let everyone know, hey, he's probably over there, to even advertise your channel. And so I was like, I know there's people like me right now that are typing in MMA Fast Topics on YouTube looking for somebody talking MMA. So I made MMA Fast Topics 2, and I started talking my shit, like, because I had to start. I knew I didn't have to start at 1 subscriber. No one knew who to look for. So since I knew people were looking in that direction, I just popped up right there. MMA Fast Topics 2. Hey, this guy went to Patreon. Respect to him. I used to watch his channel. If you want, and I used to put a link to him. I was even advertising his channel. I used to put a link in the description like, yo, here he is on Patreon. Go check him out, but I'm rocking on YouTube. And then he started trying to he never said nothing to me, but I started to get, I had like 500 subscribers almost, and he got my channel shut down, started copyrighting my
What?
shit. Yeah,
Are
never
you
messaged me,
serious, man?
never messaged me nothing. I was showing him respect. I never
It's
said a bad word
ridiculous.
about him. I never said a bad word about him. I was advertising his channel, and he never sent me one word, never said one word to me, just started trying to get my channel shut down. So from then on out, it was like, fuck the other side, man. Like, all right, well, now it's
Work on
on. I'm
yourself,
staying.
bro.
Yeah, it's like, now I'm here to
Find your
stay,
support.
motherfucker. So I changed my name to what his name was, and I had to change my whole YouTube name. He got my channel shut down one more time.
Yeah.
YouTube fixed their shit, and now we've been full-time MMA. But I did a fantasy fight between me and that dude, and I was like, it was an inside joke, a Starbucks thing. So I was like, man, yeah, we met at Starbucks. Fucking me, and because there's a lot of people pissed off at him for shutting the channel down, and everybody, like, because I'm not paying him 20 a month. What the fuck is he thinking?
Yeah.
So they were rocking with me for free. So it was like, yeah. So we all showed up. Some of the people from the old channel. And it was just like a fun little fantasy fight, little skit I made up. He was at Starbucks with one of the other guys, fucking drinking out of a pink straw, fucking biting on bagels, and it got turned up. A little funny skit situation. So it was like from then on out, the other side or the enemies were just bagel biters. So then, yeah. So it's a long story, the history of the channel and shit like that. But yeah, kind of like an inside
You know
joke, but
that
it
guy
still sounds
personally?
good.
Like,
Fuck
you
no,
know
I
that guy?
never even. I
Ah,
never I
okay.
never saw his face. I never knew his name. Like he never showed his face. He never put none of his name out there or nothing like that because he used to talk shit about fighters. Like there was a time when Uriah Hall in the UFC and him were going back and forth, and he was like, talking to him like Uriah Hall was like, "You're an internet tough guy. Why are you talking shit?" And he was like, he used that to say like, "Oh, MMA whatever responds to Uriah Hall," and he was talking shit, but he's anonymous, so it was kind of bad for Uriah Hall because in the video he was like, you're a personality, you're a famous person, so you never know if I
Yeah.
show up at a weigh-in, you don't know what I look like. I might just take a bottle upside your head, motherfucker. Like he said
Pussy. Like,
crazy shit. Yeah, but he was very anonymous, so
yeah.
so that was his thing, and yeah, that's where the channel came from, and the baby back, big white bitch boy, and all that shit. But yeah, man, it's honestly,
Fuck him, man. Fuck him.
I've thought about taking it off recently, just cause like if people are playing the video at work or some shit, I don't want it to come on every time. Baby back,
No,
big white bitch boy.
I
You
thought it
can't.
was real catchy, but I always like leave it to play at that point. Like after Shevchenko does the thumbs up and McGregor comes with the baby back, like and the bagel coming up. That's Snake, man. Keep it,
Okay,
bro.
well, Ben, I'm gonna keep that shit. I'm gonna keep it because I've noticed some other people like Sean O'Malley. When I interviewed him, he was like, "What did you say in the beginning? Baby back, baby."
Yeah, man. Big up for that, man. You coming up, bro. I
Hell
hope it
yeah,
works
man.
out for you, man.
Well, I appreciate it, man. Here's these just straight highlights from the fight. Hopefully, it don't freeze up. It's a lot shorter, 35 seconds.
Sorry, Jordan. Can you?
Woo! Go ahead.
Can
Did you guys
can
see
people
that?
can people on the stream now hear me or just you?
Yeah, yeah, they hear you.
No way, man. I thought fucking it was just
Yeah,
me and you conversation. Like, fuck.
yeah. What up, chat? Stay with MC. I ain't even see. I've had the Google Hangouts pulled up because people were hopping in and out. I ain't even seen the chat. I've been neglecting the family. My bad, man. We've been chopping up. What up, yanking my dandy doodle? Stamina MC got kicked out of history for voicing that particular opinion. We're talking about religion and shit in this joint. Full-time family ain't fucking around down there. I see y'all. Let's watch these highlights. Woo! Yeah, get her back. Get her back. Y'all see back doing work? Okay, fucking get her back. All right, man. Let's check out if there's any new MMA topics before we get out of here, man. Thanks, y'all. And just so y'all know, if you're just tuning in, I'm gonna start doing a morning show, man, like a goddamn radio station, Monday through Friday. That's my fucking plans. Full-time MMA in the morning. It's gonna be, kind of hard. My rocky life, but I think we can do it. I don't know the time. I'm gonna try and do. I think the best times, man. And I'm gonna fucking just commit to this. The best times are gonna be 11 a.m. Eastern to 1 a.m. Eastern. It's gonna be like 10, like right before the MMA hour would come on every day, Monday through Friday, though. So yeah. Arpit Singh said, "Can I join?" Actually, yeah. Come back tomorrow. We're gonna do this again. I'm just about to cover the last MMA topics, but I'm gonna start doing this every day, man. Fucking grinding like the rinse do. You know what I'm saying? Because it is. But let's check. Oh, I don't know why I'm so yeah. MMA imports, little clickbait website, but they usually have some news that other websites don't have as well. So you just got to be able to sort through the clickbait. Andrea Lee released a statement. Misha Tate's baby's here. Baby cupcake. Let's go. These two straw weights, and Angela Hill. Oh, Jessica Pena, yeah, she's definitely been breaking the internet with some pictures and shit. Oh, they got a podcast? I thought they were talking about their pictures and shit. I seen her posting some shit recently on this website, actually. There's like some, you know, some, I don't even want to touch on it because, you know, sometimes it gets a little sketchy. I was going to say, she's got a nice ass, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not objectifying women. I'm just saying she's been putting it out there. I'm just appreciating there. That's a great word, man. It's hard to touch on that sometimes because you know how sensitive people can be. But I'm just appreciating what she puts out there. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. And on this website, like whenever they bring up that subject or one of these fighters, they show their shit. Like, see what I'm saying? Just appreciating like nothing. Just like a normal. I just be appreciating. That's a good. I just be appreciating, man. But yeah, man, I didn't know they had a podcast. I don't know if I'm gonna check it out. It might be interesting. I might check out an episode or something. But yeah, I didn't even know they had a podcast. That's interesting. You interested in Andrea Lee, Jessica Pena, or what's her name? What's her name?
Jessica Pena.
Angela Hill.
Angela Hill.
Yeah, Angela Hill. Jessica Pena. Interested in the podcast?
It'd be interesting to see the female perspective, but
yeah,
I usually hear Misha Tate hitting up a few podcasts.
Yeah, I have on Sirius XM a lot. She's on Sirius XM a lot. I don't know if she got her own show, but yeah, she be throwing it out there, man. Yair Rodriguez revealed who got him back in the UFC.
Man, I can't wait for this, man. I was so happy they got him back on, bro. Oh my god!
Yeah, Zabit UFC 228 in Vegas.
That's gonna be fight of the year, man. One of the contenders for fight of the year, man.
Fucking the human helicopters, bro. Both of these are ninjas right here. This is like a fucking ninja
all
fight.
Day, though. I say,
bro, this is like ninjas fighting in 2018. But yeah, Zabit all day. I agree. I think Zabit. He's gonna be he's gonna be the favorite. I agree, but I think this is gonna be like kind of like Zabit versus Kyle Bochniak, right? Like Zabit was the better fighter, but it was very entertaining. It takes two to tango.
That was Bochniak, though. Bochniak made it so much more entertaining with his will. Like he was just gritting out, like didn't give a fuck, screaming in his face, taking digs.
Bro, screaming, coming back, throwing him back. Let's go! Like that shit.
That was a 5-rounder, man. That would have went crazy, man.
Yanking my dandy doodle with the $20 super chat, and all he said is like L or I. Hey, if that's an L for me, I'll hold that L with that 20. Thank you very much, yanking my dandy doodle. Much appreciated. Good, sir. Super chat, like Coach would say. But yeah, man, El Pantera back in the UFC. That's gonna be a tough fight for him coming off that Frankie Edgar loss, man. You know, he had a very tough fight with Frankie Edgar. Zabit is Frankie's teammate, low key. Like,
well, yeah.
You know, like he already had the answer to you, no pun intended. Now he's gonna be able to give the answer to Zabit. Like, so it's gonna be a fun fight, but Yair's definitely got a tough fight ahead of him.
Like and Mexican people in general, they're very tough people. But the Caucasus people from Dagestan area, they're crazy tough, man.
Yeah, for sure. All of these Dagestan fighters, there's a lot of them that have been coming to the UFC, man. They're all actually very talented and doing very well. There's like, what's his name? Maribek Taisomov's on like a 5-fight KO streak. And,
man, you can't get a visa to America, man. That's so fucked up, man.
He had a fucking ranked opponent, and then he had visa issues, and it's been hard for him to find an opponent. Hopefully, they can get him to fight on that card in Russia. He shouldn't have visa issues.
For sure.
Yeah. They gotta have him on that card. That's gonna be dope. But yeah, this is what El Pantera had to say. Half of this shit's in Spanish. Like, Literally, it's like one sentence English and then one sentence Spanish and then one
He set up with
sentence
me.
English. Like, bro, normally
Yeah.
you go half and then half. Like when Habib comes out, it'll have the whole half in English and then it'll translate the whole half.
Yeah.
Like literally, we gotta go through the Spanish and then there's a little bit of English right here. Okay, I'm looking at Memento. So maybe he did the Spanish first and all the English second. But I'm seeing like UFC's the beat. This is looking real English right here. Okay, so yeah, that is what he did. But the top half is Spanish. But wouldn't that be hilarious if he was like he did
One line Spanish, one line English.
sentence, one sentence Spanish, and then he translated it one sentence. That would be hella funny. Chris Holmes said, "Hey, full time, what up?" Dan from Oregon in the joint. Dan from Oregon said, "Who would you have in the main event in Russia? The new main event between Mark Hunt and Alexei Olenek." Damn, Dan, that's a good question.
Oh yeah,
yeah, Alexei. That's a good question because styles make fights. Like on the like top of my head, I'm going Mark Hunt actually because Alexei Olenek. Yeah, because actually, if you remember, Alexei Olenek was getting tagged up before he like pulled his Ezekiel choke. No, in his last fight, he just fought somewhere else. He got knocked. Curtis Blades finished it.
Ezekiel choke. Yeah.
Who was he fighting? Junior Albini? I think Junior Albini.
Yeah.
And Junior Albini actually busted him up a little bit. So if Junior Albini busted him up, I'm just, Mark Hunt the slugger. I think Mark Hunt might be able to clip him up, but the thing is,
he has a lot of submissions on his record, though. Olenek.
Oh yeah, he's got like 44. He's got 56 wins and like 44 submissions. So that's the thing.
That's crazy.
If he can pull, he might even pull guard with Mark Hunt and try and get the Ezekiel choke. So if he can get the fight to the floor, you might have to give it to Alexei. So
that's crazy.
That's tough for me to call, but I'm thinking I'm edging it out to Mark Hunt off the top of my head.
The walkout KO King. Walk-off KO King.
Exactly. That could have very well happened in the main event. Walk-off KO, because Junior Albini did tag Alexei a little bit. So if Alexei can get it to the ground, he'll be in a good spot, but the fight starts standing. Mark Hunt's definitely dangerous standing. So I'll probably edge it to Mark Hunt. But yeah, Yair's back fighting at UFC 228, and I believe he said it's in Las Vegas. So other websites and where everything I've seen so far, there hasn't been a location exactly for UFC 228, but I think he would know what he's saying if he's announcing the fight. It's in Las Vegas, so that's going to be a pretty dope card. I'm sure UFC usually stacks those Vegas cards, and it's going to be right after UFC 227. Garbrandt Dillashaw 2. Who you got in that fight?
Oh man, I hope Garbrandt takes him, man. I hate that snake, man, but I love the way he fights.
I hate that snake.
I want to see the trilogy, man. Marlon Moraes coming in there like, oh man,
that's
in that, man.
Bro, I'll tell you this: if the Snake TJ Dillashaw happens to beat Garbrandt in the rematch,
you have to give
he's
it to Moraes.
Gonna have a tough time with Moraes.
Yeah,
Moraes knocks dudes out. That's all I'm saying. He's on a sprint. I mean, his first two fights in the UFC were splits, but I'm saying we've seen he can knock dudes out, and on top of that, don't forget. John Dodson versus TJ Dillashaw, man. John Dodson, he's underrated for sure, in my opinion. But he had that W. And honestly, that's something. John Dodson just re-signed with the UFC, which is dope. But John Dodson, if he's only lost 2 split decisions at bantamweight, if he didn't lose those 2 split decisions at bantamweight, John Dodson would be 4-0 at bantamweight, and he could be in the title picture. But now it's Moraes that has that spot. And I'm excited about Moraes, especially after that last performance. I think he woke up a lot of people with that Jimmy Rivera knockout. No, I
was thinking Jimmy Rivera was going to give a good fight, man, but he just got caught. Thought it was going to come to a body shot, but he just switched it up to the head, man. Clipped him.
Right upside the head. Crazy. Like, how long did the fight last? Like 30 seconds?
33 seconds, man. 33 seconds, man. I was pissed off. I was looking forward to that fight, man. I wanted a war.
It was going to be a good fight, exactly. I wanted to see how it would play out. Like as far as the technical skill, who was going to be the better fighter. But, whenever you get a quick knockout like that, it's hard to tell. It's kind of like Conor McGregor, Jose Aldo, right? You wanted to see the fight, but it's like Conor came in there and just, boom, got it done.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man. But this is the UFC 225 full card. Look at the early prelims. Like, this Mike Santiago, this is going to be actually a decent fight. But they got Clay Guida versus Charles Oliveira on the early prelims.
Fight, yeah.
Sergio Pettis versus
That's a
Joseph
good fight as
Benavidez,
well, man.
all on the fight pass. Rashad Evans and Anthony Smith. All three of these fights are main card worthy. Hell, probably some of these.
True.
Some of these could have probably been on UFC 224 low key, but I'm just saying these are on Fight Pass prelims. I think these fights low key might be better than these. I like the Mirsad Bektik fight versus Ricardo Lamas. That's going to be a fun
Big
fight.
fan of Mirsad Bektik, man.
Yeah, he only had one loss in the UFC in his career, actually 5-0 other than that. And he's taking on Ricardo Lamas, who's coming off of that nasty loss to Josh Emmett. This is going to be a great fight, man. To see if Mirsad Bektik gets the win here, he's definitely a future contender of the division. And he'll jump into the top 10. But Ricardo Lamas is definitely going to be looking to bounce back. I mean, Ricardo Lamas was just in the top 5 of the division not too long ago. Now he got knocked out of it, and if he loses this fight, he's going to be in the top 15. Like, that would be a fall from grace with those 2 losses if he does lose. So he's got a lot to fight for. On top of that, he's fighting out of Chicago, Illinois, Ricardo Lamas. So this is going to be a great fight. He's the hometown guy, got a lot to fight for, needs the win, the veteran. But he's fighting a very fucking tough up-and-coming Mirsad Bektik. That's a fucking great fight. So I'm really interested in that fight. His only loss was to Darren Elkins in a fight he was actually dominating, but that's what Darren Elkins does.
Yeah, it was controversial a bit, yeah.
Yeah, but that's what Darren Elkins does. He survives beatings, comes back, and wins the fights. We've seen that he's like the Justin Gaethje of the featherweight division.
I love Justin Gaethje, man. I love him.
Oh yeah, I think his fighting style is so entertaining. That's what people talk about. But he's got some of the most lethal leg kicks in the game, man.
True, man. True. You see what he did to fucking Dustin Poirier's leg, man?
Yo, I was like, Dustin. I know Dustin Poirier's not a quitter. He's got heart. I know all of that. But there's that point where you got something's got to give, bro. Your legs are gonna give out. You don't gotta quit. They're gonna quit on you. I felt like he was about to break his legs. Like I wouldn't even have been, like I felt like Dustin Poirier was gonna be walking different after that fight. And that's just Justin Gaethje's leg kicks though. Like he's did that in the past. I think he needs to be in conversation.
Dustin Poirier though. I really like Dustin Poirier, man.
Yeah,
very nice personality as well. Like. He's not too arrogant or whatever.
I feel like he got shit on a little bit in the whole Eddie Alvarez situation. After the fight,
piece of shit, man. I liked him. He's a piece of shit.
I don't like how he did after that fight. Dustin Poirier in the octagon was like, "Don't boo this man." Like in the octagon, Poirier was like, "Yo, don't boo him. Like we're warriors." It was he was giving him the benefit of the doubt. Yeah, it's going to be a great rematch. They both
hope he kills him.
Poirier had to work for this rematch. Yeah, this is going to be a great fight, bro. Quincy Pinola donated $5 in the super chat. Said, "Keep it up, bro. Thank you very much, Quincy, coming through.
People showing you love, man. That's cool.
Yeah, man. Full-time MMA in the morning in full effect. Let's fucking go." But back to UFC 225 card. But I cannot wait for this Lamas fight. This is actually, man, these 3 fights are fucking great as well. Carlos Barza versus Claudia Gadelha. I got Claudia. That's gonna be a fun fight. But I'm not probably as. I just think that's a good fight for Claudia. As far as I think she's gonna come back and get the job done. Carlos Barza looked good versus Cynthia Calvillo, but some people felt like that. They had Cynthia Calvillo winning, and it was a kind of controversial division. That's when Cynthia Calvillo thought she won the fight.
Pretty tight,
like hotboxed afterward or something. I don't know. She
got banned for 6 to 8 months or something for a week.
That shit's so crazy. 6 to 8 months. Like
I don't get that shit, man. Nate Diaz and all puffing away after in press conferences and shit. And I know he's not getting banned.
It's like they changed the rule for him. Like, oh yeah, but we're gonna start allowing CBD. Nate just broke it in, but like Cynthia Calvillo is 6 to 8 months. That's pretty insane. And Nate Diaz, man, he got really. It seems like he really got lucky with that Conor McGregor fight because he's doing a lot of shit. Like if Nate Diaz never fought Conor McGregor and this was the UFC today, he would have for sure been cut like Yair. Like. I think so. If he didn't have that Conor McGregor win and he was still smoking it, if he ever pulled up with the CBD at the press conference or he was turned down any fights, I think he'd probably be out of there, like Yair style. But he got that Conor win, Now he's like, I'm the fucking man. You know, he's got
True.
leverage for once. He's like, now I can do what I want. So that's kind of cool to
UFC
see
has too
because
much leverage, in my opinion, though, man.
exactly. Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
They
That's
hold
why
so much
it's
of the
kind of
power,
cool.
like over the fires, man.
Yeah, a lot of it.
Crazy, man.
It's pretty crazy. It is. And that's the thing that is kind of cool about Nate Diaz having leverage, because you know he would get shit on if he didn't. But now he's the one kind of sticking it to the man a little bit. Like, I'm going to fight when I want, you know, like that part is kind of cool. Just because you're used to seeing the UFC have so much leverage, and Nate Diaz is kind of like, what's up, bitches?
209.
Curtis Blades versus Alistair Overeem, man, it's always, I don't know why.
This fight.
I do too. It's always hard for me to count Alistair Overeem out. Even though I feel like Curtis Blades should win this fight, it's hard to count such an experienced striker, former title challenger. Like, he's got so many accolades in his career and on his resume, Alistair Overeem.
His knees are very slick as well. Like, if he's coming in for the takedown, his knees are very good, especially in his K1 days. Like, he was a little less stocky, like, but I think he still has it, man.
Whenever you think of Alistair Overeem, what's something that comes, like, what's one of the things that describe him that you always hear people say?
He's too stocky, man. I think he's too
chinny.
stocky.
People say that he doesn't have a chin.
Yeah.
So this is my thing, bro. Alistair Overeem's literally only lost like 2 in his last 9 fights in the UFC. Like, when you look at his resume, it's like, for people to say he's chinny, he's been doing pretty good. He beat Stefan Struve. He beat Roy Nelson. He beat Junior Dos Santos. He beat Andrea Arlovski. He lost to Stipe. Then he came back
after knocking him down, though.
Yeah, after knocking him down. And so, I mean, for him to be chinny, he sure didn't get knocked out against a lot of these guys, man. I mean, when he gets hit, he gets hit. Now, when he gets hit, he gets hit. But
Francis Ngannou, very experienced. Real man, his head snapped back.
This is the thing.
He beat Fabricio as well, man. Yeah.
And now I'll admit, I had that fight for Fabricio. But the thing is, Fabricio, like, he had Alistair hurt in the 3rd round, and he like went down. Like, he didn't try and get the finish, and it seemed like he was kind of like punished for not going for the finish in that fight. When I was watching it, that's just how I remember feeling it. Because it was like, you can't leave it to the judges. It was one of those fights where it felt like Fabricio won, but you can't leave it to the judges. But even if you look at the stats right here, he outstruck him. He scored the only takedown in the fight. Like, but this is my thing. Even though Fabricio outstruck him, if Alistair was just super chinny, he probably would have been knocked out. You know? And so Alistair Overeem, man, he's got a reputation for being chinny, but I still think he's got potential. And he's so experienced, that's why it's hard to count him out. But coming off that loss to Francis Ngannou, Curtis Blades is a tough challenge. A lot of people don't know about Curtis Blades, but he's a very talented wrestler. Like,
very, very talented,
like Division I, some shit like that. Like, he took Mark Hunt down 10 times. So, I mean, and what
remember him against Mark Hunt, man. Mark Hunt do shit, man. No, if you leave Mark Hunt stand, he has a chance, like. But if you have him on his back, like, he's hard to, it's very difficult for him.
And that's what I see kind of with this fight versus Overeem. He probably isn't going to be able to stand with Overeem. He's not going to be as technical striker or talented striker, but he's always going to have that wrestling to rely on. And wrestling, and another thing, he's also fighting out of Chicago, Curtis Blades. He's going to be really, really wanting this W. Like, so
if you put your money on, you put on Blades.
Yeah, I would put my money on Blades, but I would be scared to, kind of, because Overeem, he's such a decorated striker and stuff like that. But I don't know. Yeah, I feel like Blades should win the fight, but it's a heavyweight fight also. Don't blink. Anything can happen.
Yeah, looking forward to him.
Alistair Overeem, the only way he wins this fight, I feel like, is a knockout. So that's why you probably still got to go with Curtis Blades, because I feel like Curtis Blades is going to probably have the better cardio, the better wrestling, grappling. I mean, so yeah, I'll go with Curtis Blades. But it's going to be a great fight. It's a heavyweight fight, another heavyweight fight. We still got Tuivasa versus Arlovski later on that night. So it's going to be a great night of fights all the way down through, starting with fucking Guida Oliveira, Mike Santiago Both of these guys are trying to get a win in the UFC, their first win. Mike Santiago fighting in front of his hometown. So people might not know about that fight as much, but that's also going to be a good fight. But, I mean, just starting all the way. These fights are dope. And then we get to #WarPunk.
Oh, yeah, this one, man. I hope CM Punk
in the chat.
Man. I want to see
CM
Punk show his heart, like, you know what I mean? Like,
bro,
with Mickey Gall, he couldn't really show it.
I know. I want to see it, but this is the thing. CM Punk could get his ass kicked going for it because it's standing. The fight starts standing. This could be a bad night for CM Punk. What if he just comes in here and he's just getting pieced up like RDA versus Lawler, like 100-hit combo, like again in the clinch? CM Punk's gonna need a takedown. He's gonna need to get this fight to the mat against all odds, like CM Punk or like Mickey Gall did to him. He's gonna need to get this fight to the mat, and if he does, man, I think it's gonna be time for Punk.
Man, if he wins, man, can you imagine what that'll do for his career? Like, definitely gonna see more fights, man.
And if he wins, man, it might be time to know when to hold him and know when to fold him. I got a W. I'm out, bitches. I'll see you later.
Yeah, true, true.
I don't know who he fights from here. It's gonna be hard to find someone.
Didn't say he's improved dramatically, like.
Yes, and I believe also. Not only that, Pettis said he's definitely been putting in the mat time, and he said, like anybody, it doesn't matter if you just start training today. If you train for the next 2 years, you're going to be better. If he's been putting in the mat time, he's going to get better. Also, if I'm not mistaken, I've heard people say CM Punk has fought like smokers in the gym, like simulating real fights, but in the gym, not televised just for his teammates, but simulating real fights, fighting people. So I don't think he's just coming in here unprepared. I don't think CM Punk would do that. He got so embarrassed in his first fight. I don't think he's going to come in here unprepared. Like, that would just be terrible. He knows. I think he's going to know what this means for not just his legacy, his career. He's literally the laughing stock of everybody if he comes in here and gets embarrassed again by fucking Mike the Truth Jackson. Like, seriously. So,
I'd say even if he loses, but he shows good heart, I think people will respect him. Like, you know what I mean? To get into the cage, even though he has loads of money anyway, like he has money. So he's obviously doing it for some sort of
just get some respect.
Yeah.
He's got the money. He don't that's a good point too. Even if he goes 3 rounds, if he don't get knocked out and just gets in a decision and lands some good shots, definitely gonna earn some respect for sure. Make some people proud, you know. As far as WWE fans, I remember the last time he fought in the UFC. I don't know how I stumbled upon it. But it was before I was doing YouTube, so that's probably how. But someone was like, it was a WWE fan, like, reacting to CM Punk's fight. They're like, oh, my God, there's CM. Let's go see him. Like, they were so happy he was fighting. And then, like, their reaction changed when he lost. It was like,
when he lost.
Oh, what? Like, no. Like, it was so interesting to watch. Like, they were so disappointed. So they went from so happy and excited to so disappointed. And then we got Arlovsky, Tuivasa, Holly Holm, Anderson, Dos Anjos, Covington, Whitaker, Romero. Man, it's going to be a great fight this Saturday.
Great fights, man.
But with that being said, man, actually, everybody, thanks for coming through. I think we're going to shut it down until tomorrow. Full-time MMA in the morning, the inaugural. Definitely thanks to Muhammad for coming through. That was your name, right? I remembered that.
Appreciate it, Jordan.
Hell yeah. Thank you, man.
Yeah, man. Thanks. Safe, bro.
All right, man. Thanks for coming through. Thanks, chat. I'm about to start making some videos. My full-time fake money bankroll. That's what I want to get on because we won a lot of money last week. Let's fucking go. No, with that being said, though, I'll be back tomorrow. Start trying to do this every morning. Mr. Perfect, you just got here, but check it out. We're going to start doing this every morning. Fuck with your boy. Let the full-time family know what you think in the comments. Me and Muhammad are out. And by the way, you guys can join tomorrow. You can join.